This next stage involves the drawing of our shapes, and so we need to create an event that will actually initiate the sprite or the cat engaging in this activity. So what we need to do is, for a start, we're going to actually get one of the keys to initiate the action. So we'll make the T key that activate it because it's a triangle that we're drawing, and we need to make sure that we've got our pen up, so we're not drawing from this point to wherever we're going. We're going to be also choosing a location to draw our shape, and I think we'll start down here and say X at about 150 and Y, I don't know, at about minus 100, so it's a little bit lower down there on the screen. So we've got room for our other shapes. So what we need to do is tell our cat to go there, and so we'll go to and make sure it's 150 and minus 100. All right, and just call it buttons that create shapes. And we'll make sure that once we get to that point, the pen goes down. It needs to start drawing. Okay, and maybe we could even change the color of the pen if you'd like to. It's not such an important aspect. You can do that, and you can change the shade in those aspects. But as we're planning to actually print one of these shapes, one of our more complicated shapes at the end in 3D, I think we'll just focus on just drawing. So, now when it comes to the shape and what we're drawing, that needs to be added on here because we've moved to the location. I'll show you if I hit the green flag, and then now if I hit T, our little sprite character or our cat goes down to that location. Now we need to give the cat the instructions to do some movement, and we need to tell it to maybe turn once it ends at one length of the shape and turn to go to another. And so it can be, you could tell it to turn either way, left or right. Okay, so we want our cat to move forward a set distance, then we'd like our cat to turn an angle, and you've learnt in maths the angles that you need to turn to create a triangle. And then we'll need to do that 3 times. Now we're going to tell our character to repeat the same thing 3 times in a row. And so we'll drag out the repeat block and change it to 3 times. We'll go to our motion controllers and we'll get the character to move forward a certain distance, maybe a little bit further, make a larger triangle, and then it's going to be turning, and we've figured it out that it needs to turn 120 degrees. And now we can attach that block. And then we'll need our pen to be lifted up before we go home again, because it'll save us from drawing a line all the way back up to the starting point. Won't look good. And then we also need to make sure it goes back to the same location, which is 0, 0. Now when we hit the T key, the pen will lift up, character will go down here, we'll just test it. So I'll hit the T button, and there you go, we've drawn a little triangle, it's gone back home again. Now I'm going to replace the T command on the keyboard with a button. So I'll drag away the T command and I'll make a new button by painting a sprite. I'll use the line tool, draw a triangle for our triangle button, use some text. And I'll fill it with a color. So I need to close that, make sure I close that line there. Okay, close the gap and then fill it. Then the text over the top. Okay, and now all I need to do is move that button, actually scale it as well, and move it so I can fit my other buttons in. And so you can just watch that update over on the left hand side. Now we need to create the script for the triangle button, so right now there's nothing there. So when this sprite is clicked, broadcast a message, and we'll name that message. We'll call that triangle. Now when we go back to our cat that we're commanding with our button, we need to make sure that it does what it has to do when it receives the triangle command. So we'll attach that block, and now it will work. When I hit the flag and start and hit the triangle, our character has drawn a triangle.